Hi, I'm Tony Marv with Marvelous Shots Photography, and today I'm going to be talking about still wool photography. So first I'm going to be talking about the items, then I'm going to be talking about the safety, and I'm going to be talking about the settings. So let's get through that, okay? You can also subscribe to us at MSPLens via the internet, and also go on to our IG and Twitter channels and please subscribe. Okay, so first, things you're going to want to have. Physically, just for you to complete the shot, you're going to want to have one of these. This is a Whisk. Some people have one with a loop on the end. These have a bunch of loops, so I'm going to make use of that. Just try to make use of what you can. You don't have to do exactly what other photographers do. Whatever's in your home is fine. Okay? Second thing you're going to want to have is a dog leash. Mine's just tied up just so I can do a demonstration in the house, but you're going to want to have something with length to do in a circular motion. It's going to be throwing out a lot of sparks, so you're going to want to have something that's going to give you a fair distance between you and your face. Okay. Third thing you're going to want to have, this is going to be the money shot in the picture, the money item, so to speak. You're basically going to have still wool, and then it folds like this. And before I stuff it in there, let me explain to you about this. This still wool basically comes from different grades. The finer, the more zeros it's going to have, okay? So what's going on with this is if it's too thick, it's not going to burn good, and you're going to be out there and it's going to be causing you a headache. So try to get thin, and it's not too expensive. You can find some at different hardware stores around locally. Okay. Now, you're going to want to have some gloves. I had a bad experience my first time swinging a rope. All the skin on my hands came off, so try not to do that. It's painful. Okay. You're going to need a 9-volt battery, and I'll show you just in a second what that's for. And you're going to want a remote for your camera. The reason for that is you're going to have yourself set up on a tripod. It's going to be a long exposure, so your shutter's going to be open from 25 to 30 seconds. You're probably going to want this remote, not that it can't be done, but it's going to be a much cleaner shot. So try to get yourself set up with either a wireless remote, or if you have something like a Canon, a Rebel, something like that model, you can actually download the app and use your smartphone as a wireless trigger. I recommend that. Okay, so we talked about what's going to make this happen. This Whisk, this unfolding it, you want it to be like cotton. You want it to be very spread out because the sparks are going to run through the fibers. So the more spread out it is, the better effect you're going to get. What's going to happen, I'm not going to do this inside, but what happens is as soon as you rub this 9-volt against the wool, it causes a reaction to catch it on fire. Basically, it's a very cool science experiment, but you get to do photography on top of it. So what ends up happening, you hook it up there, you swing it around like this in a circular motion. And this is going to be outside. Try to do it in a place where there's not too many people and there's not flammable objects. One is authorities will probably stop you. Two is it can cause incredible damage. It's not something that you should play around with. Okay, so for the lens, I'm using a 18 to 55 millimeter. A lot of people get those standards with the kids. I recommend this just because you don't want to be too far away from your shot. You can use different lenses. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that the wide lens works really great for me because I can get all the detail up close and also not be too far away from the shot. I've heard of different people using different stuff, but for me personally, other lenses don't work out as well. Okay, settings. You're going to want to have a low setting. Like I said, for your ISO, you want to have experiment between 100 to 200, depending how much light is around you. So you're going to have a low ISO, long shutter exposure. Okay, Once you get that set up and your wireless trigger, you'll let it rip, and then I'm going to go outside in just a bit here to show you what it looks like. I'll upload some photos, and that'll be the end of my short tutorial. I hope you've learned something, and if you have any questions, like I said, please subscribe and ask away. Thank you. Okay, so here's the last part of this. When you're actually outside and you're getting a little bit nervous, just remember it's gonna be dark outside. You're not always gonna have the best lighting situation, but the way this thing works is you don't have to be focused on what you're actually shooting at the moment. So you can focus on something else that has a little bit more light, and then hit the timer and then switch it back to the scene that you want. So if I focus, say, somewhere in the background where there's another light, what's going to basically happen is I'm going to hit the timer and then swivel the camera back around to the position that I want in front of me. Make sure the area you want is in your shot, so make sure you bring more than a few wools with you. They're going to get hot, so make sure you're wearing your gloves, like I said. Once you start swinging those things around and you adjust your camera settings, you're going to see that you can play around with it a little bit and experiment. 1 or 2 tries just to get it perfect. Bring the whole pack, have fun. Okay, people. So like I said, you want to focus on something, and then you can get back in the shot before the timer goes off. You make it happen real quick, okay? So I'm going to show you really quickly. Okay. After you get a little good, go like this. Get it done. And subscribe to Marvelous Shots Photography on WordPress.com.